Om Stapakaya Dharmasya Sarvadharmaswarupini Avatara Varishtaya Ramakrishnaya Te Namaha Pavitram Charitam Yasyaha Pavitram Jivanam Tatam Pavitrata Swarupini Tasye Kurmo Namo Namaha Namah Shri Yatirajaya Vivekananda Suraye Satya Sakaswarupaya Swami Thapaharini Om Sarvamangalamangale Shive Sarvartha Sadhike Sharnye Trambake Gauri Narayani Namostute. Today I was just thinking I cannot at present start any new topic. At the same time, this Sunday being lecture in English, and again we have to start something in the next month, first week of the next month. We'll have a lot of gaps in between, at least 2 weeks of gap. So, I thought I will share some of the life incidences of our senior Swamis, both recorded and not much recorded. Of course, there in some few talks with some Swamis are published privately. Many things are published either in the Prabuddha Bharata, in the Vedanta Kesari, or in some of the senior Swamis' talks. So with that idea, I thought I should share, because books cannot teach life. Books can give information, including Shastra. Though Shastram eva pramanam, Shastra is the pramana, the proof. But how to attain? Definitely, Sri Ramakrishna so often tells sadhu sangha, sadhu sangha, sadhu sangha in the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, that you will understand only if you can stay with somebody. By God's grace, by Guru's grace, by our Purva Janma Sukruta Samskara, if you can get even one, it is difficult to get one also. If you can get a Swami like that, of that caliber, it's one of the life's greatest fortune, if possibly, if you can understand it. Many times it so happens we may stay, but we don't understand. That's the problem. Maya. That's why I thought I should share few things regarding these things. Swami Premeshanji Maharaj, during his last days, I think many of the senior devotees know that Premeshanji Maharaj, earlier his name was Indradayal. He was initiated by Holy Mother herself. He was Holy Mother's disciple, Premeshanji Maharaj. You just read, go forward. Now, earlier it was in 3 volumes, now they have compiled volume, go forward. Of course, it's all his letters correspondence to, generally to Swamis and often to devotees also, that also compiled in 1 volume with the title Go Forward. One of the best letters that you get, and you can get an inkling of his mind and his attitude towards divine trio and towards Shastra. So, during his last days, he stayed in Banaras, Varanasi, in our Kashi Sevashrama, home of service. But the way they understand Sri Ramakrishna, the way they take so seriously about the Nama of their Ishta is completely different. I am quoting this from revered Suitanji Maharaj's reminiscences. He has told us, even Sarva Pranji has referred this is in Mandukya Karika also. And of course, Maharaj, now he is the Vice President of our order. Earlier he was General Secretary, and before, when I was in training center, he was our in charge for training center. We used to go to him to ask questions, and he also used to call any brahmachari if he likes and ask us for 2 days. He will interview us. When we were in training center, he used to randomly call brahmacharis, and to understand in what way we are evolving, we are developing, he used to call us for the interview after Aratrikam. Then we used to have to converse with him for 1 hour, and if he feels again, he will call next day, and he will again ask questions, and he will ask, what do you think about Sri Ramakrishna? Why have you joined the order? Why you left your job? Why you took so many marks in such a subject? Why you have joined the order? He used to take lot of questions. So that was when he was in charge of training center, assistant general secretary. So many places he has recorded this. He has given many reminiscences about revered Premeshanji Maharaj. He served more than 9 years, I think, I suppose, 9 or 10 years with him. So last days Maharaj, Premeshanji Maharaj stayed in Varanasi. You should know, he had a bad health during his last days. Bad health in the sense he was almost bedridden. He lost both of his eyes also. He could not see. During his last days, he could not see. He had lost both the eyes. And I think it was something like a paralytic. He could not move. Somebody has to take care of him all the 24 hours. More or less like that, bedridden. But during one of the occasions, Maharaj, Suitanji Maharaj reported to him, Maharaj, I think it was 3-4 days before Sri Ramakrishna's Jayanti, Thakurtiti Puja. Then Maharaj told Maharaj, 4 days are left for Sri Ramakrishna's Titi Puja. Then Premashanji Maharaj told, hey, then you have to remind me, okay? Don't forget to remind me on Thakur's Titi Puja. Please remind me, you will be Vestatake, you will be busy with many works, but don't forget to remind me on Thakur Titi Puja. Maharaj, 3-4 days there are there, we are in Kashi, Advaita Ashrama celebrates Thakur Titi Puja, we are here to remind, don't worry. Then I think hardly 1 hour has passed. Then again called, hey, don't forget to remind me. How many hours are left? Maharaj, just 1 hour over. Still 3 more days left for Thakur Titi Puja. Oh, still 3 days are there. Tikachi. But don't forget to remind. Then next day again, many times he will call Maharaj, his Sevak, Suitanji Maharaj, and call and hey, don't forget to remind me. On the day of Titi Puja, 4:30 is the Arthi at Kashi Sevashrama. 5 minutes before Arati, generally it is done in Belur Math and many of the North Indian Ramakrishna Mission centers, they blow conch, Shankadhwani. They do Shankadhwani before Arati come to Thakur. Here they do it in the evening, but there they do both the times, both in the morning and the evening. So, Shankadhwani they have done in the temple, Advaita Ashrama. Then Suitanji Maharaj went inside to inform Maharaj Shankadhwani over to now the Thakur Titi Puja has started. He was born in the early hours of the morning. He said, no, Thakur Titi Puja. He went inside to tell him, Maharaj, now the time has begun. Thakur Titi, Punya Titi. The moment he entered his room, Maharaj already has sat in his blood with a divine smile, with a divine glow, completely meditating on Sri Ramakrishna. He could not utter anything. The moment he went inside Sri Ramakrishna, he went inside Premeshanji Maharaj's room, he could not utter a single word. He had no strength to tell anything. Seeing Premeshanji in a divine mood, he simply retrieved his steps and came out. They actually, even in one of the incidences, before expanding it, in one more incident is there. Many times he has told, he used to tell, please close all the doors and windows. I want to tell you a secret today. What is the secret, Maharaj? No, close the door, I want to tell a secret. Then Suitama, first time, he closed the door and came near the bed and sat and told, you know what, Maharaj? Sri Ramakrishna is an avatara. So many times, for them it is a secret. Because somebody, even if I go to colleges and even for devotees, I ask them. We so often and casually use the word God, Bhagavanta. We don't know anything about that. So casually, and we lose value of that word itself. Because we don't give mind to what has been involved in that word. Premeshanji, many times he used to tell, you close the door, I want to tell a secret. What is that, Maharaj? Even he will say, I know what you tell. No, you don't know. You close the door. You have to practically close the door and come, and Maharaj will tell same thing. You know, Sri Ramakrishna is an avatara. You have taken Nama. Is it not? To what extent really we can feel that? But Maharaj, especially Premeshanji Maharaj, you have to read. If you really, I think many seniors devotees might have read. Please read his Let Us Go Forward. You will understand. Of course, there are many songs that we sing, Jai Jai Ramakrishna Bhavana Mangal, Arupa Shaire. Those songs are there. You will get an inkling. But Premeshanji's, in many reminiscences are coming out in Vivekamsa also, that they are translating it into Kannada, the reminiscences. So, Maharaj, on Titi Puja and with uttering the name of Sri Ramakrishna, he used to go into different state of mind itself, hearing. So, we should take that as indication. Why? Because Avatara is not such a simple thing. Akhanda Koti Brahmanda Nayaka has come in the form of that human being. Can you imagine? Now I find it's a miracle. If I can use the word, nearest word that I can use is a miracle. How can that Akhanda Koti Brahmanda Nayaka can come in front of us with that human form? It is not possible. But God makes it possible for us human beings. If you don't understand the value of that Nama, which our Guru has given, gone is life, chala gaya. That's Premeshanji Maharaj, very often you say, he is an avatar, remember that. What is an avatara? That you have to understand intuitively. There are many things you have to understand intuitively. If you can sincerely do japa, then many things will be understood by yourself, not necessary. Of course, you need sadhu sangha to understand many things. But Nama will give lot of indications. That's why when, we have heard, Yam goes to Kamarpukur, is it not? When Sri Ramakrishna was suffering from cancer in Kasipur, Yam visited Kamarpukur. He was not to be seen in Kasipur for a few days. Then after some days he came back. Then others came to know that M. Master Mahashaya had gone to Kamarpukur and came back. Then Sri Ramakrishna asked the question, Kemonchilo, how was Kamarpukur? Then what does M says there? I saw Kamarpukur as Chinmaya. M utters that. He sees before entering to Kamarpukur, he slows it as like a golden hue, full of like Vishwamitra saw that Gayatri mantra in the form of the in golden letters. More or less in the same way, Yam sees Kamarpukur as Chinmaya. Then he says, I saw Kamarpukur as Chinmaya. God has chosen that place for his avatara. But what we see, even including myself, what we saw, that some temple, some aratrikam, we are so much attached to that vigraha, you do aratrikam, you do flowers, no Chinmaya. So busy with prasadam, after we will get prasadam, we will get guest house. So that's all there, I am just joking. But Yamsa, because it depends on our state of mind to understand many things, especially spiritual life. Of course, in a scientific way also, to understand many abstract laws, you need that intuition. Beyond that is spirituality, of course, underlining everything. That's why, when Yam says that he saw these things as Chinmaya, referring to this, there is one incident in the life of Swami Vishuddhanji Maharaj. You know, he was the vice president and he was also the disciple of Holy Mother. He took Mantra Diksha from Mother. So I think Harshanji Maharaj got sannyasa from Vishuddhanji Maharaj. So he got Mantra Diksha from Virajanji Maharaj, sannyasa from Vishuddhanji. So when Vishuddhanji used to go to Kamarpukur to give Mantra Diksha, he did not ask any questions to the Diksharthis who came for initiation. No question asked. Anybody coming in Kamapukur and say, Maharaj is there, Maharaj, I want Mantra Diksha. You come tomorrow, take Diksha and go. Apart from Kamarpukur, any other place if he visits and give Mantra Diksha, he will take complete interview. He will ask, why do you want Diksha? Have you read this book? What is your attitude towards Sri Ramakrishna? How do you do practices? What are your family background, etc., etc. He asked many questions, Vishuddhanji Maharaj. But in Kamarpukur, he never used to ask any question. Somebody says, Mantra Diksha? Yes, take. Then I think one of his assistants asked, Maharaj, you are so strict in other places, but not in Kamarpukur, why? Then Maharaj used to say, Amar Uddharte Ashi. Amar Uddharte Ashi. Varato Mukta Achi. I come to Kamarpukur to become more pure. I become Uddhara. I become uplifted. They are already have attained liberation. I come here to get myself purified and uplifted. Because that is, Sri Ramakrishna has chosen this place as to come as an avatara. So, when you take that nama, you should have this bhava. Somebody, if you ask me question, Swamiji, so many years, hey, don't answer this question so many years. No question encouraged. Have you got this bhava while you take the nama of Thakur? At the last part, generally every nama will have a namaskara. Henna? Om Namah Shivaya, Namaha will be there. In our Sri Ramakrishna mantra, it ends with that namaskara. Some guru have not given namaskara. Chaturthi Vibhakti itself will give the idea of namaskara. That is the attitude. If you have not got namaskara at the end of your mantra, don't be worried. Because Chaturthi Vibhakti Ramaya, that Chaturthi Vibhakti itself will give that idea of namaskara. If Guru has given that mantra, that is for your salvation. Don't worry. But generally, namaskara will be added at the end. What does that indicate? That is the connection between the Jivatman and the Paramatman. That namaskara is the connection between the Jivatman and the Paramatman with the attitude of Sharanagati. I completely surrendered you, namaskara. I completely surrendered to you, namaskara, because he is an avatara. Everything has got its own very intricate. You have to do mining with mantra. Go on doing mining. Go deeper into yourself. Go deeper into Mama. If you don't invest time, nothing is, you don't get any interest. No dividend. You need dividend and interest, have to invest. That's why Vishuddhanji Maharaj used to say, Amar Uddharte Ashi. If you come to Kamarpukur, you used to say, I come because of the sake of my Uddhara here. Can a vice president of that stature, like being a disciple of Holy Mother, can tell this? But he used to tell. I have heard this from Maharaj. That's why they had such a different attitude and bhava towards the Tista, which used to get reflected there in their lives. Coming to one or two incidences with Premeshanji with this bhava, I had heard Suitanji Maharaj, when he was serving him, he went and asked, Maharaj, I need one boon, vara. I request you to grant one vara. Then Maharaj asked Premeshanji. He was bedridden, he could not see. He was lying and asked. He was in Kashi. They then asked, what boon do you want? Then Maharaj told, Suitanji Maharaj told, see, during your last day, suppose you are leaving your body in few days, during last days, already you are in Sevashrama, very near to the hospital. What happens? The moment they see that you are leaving the body, the thing that happens is, immediately they will admit you to ICU, give oxygen, make so many things. Even it was much harder, I have heard, in those days than nowadays. So many things will happen in a hospital to save you. They will neither, there are a few doctors sitting here, I can know, they should not misunderstand me. Neither they allow you to leave the body, nor they allow you to live peacefully. So that happens for all such diseases. I have seen 3 to 4 cases, dying cases. I was with 3 Swamis when they left their body. So, Maharaj requested to grant a boon. Maharaj, you should pass peacefully without entering into hospital. Because he was bedridden. Then he told, Tikache. Okay. Then, in his second boon, he told, Maharaj, I want to know, I will come to his passing away later. First, I will narrate all the 3 boons that he requested. Then the second boon he asked, can you tell me the mantra which Holy Mother gave you? Then Maharaj told few words and told, Ar Jignasha Korbenna. Enough, don't ask beyond this. Then third, he asked, I have a question. Not a boon, but a question. What is that? Do you see Sri Ramakrishna? Yes, I see Ramakrishna. Do you see as the picture of Sri Ramakrishna? No. How do you see Sri Ramakrishna? Living. It's a one-word answer. He will not elaborate. We have to elaborate. It's a living. Now, coming to his passing away, the morning he left, the day he left the body, actually he was quite well compared to other days. He was quite well. Morning 7:30 or 8 a.m., the doctor came regularly on the visit. He came as during his visit, checked Maharaj. He was perfectly all right. Then the doctor left the place. Suitanji Maharaj came, and it was his service to offer him breakfast. Generally, the breakfast used to be liquid food with a soup, porridge, ganji, we call ganji, such food. So he came and tried to feed him. He was to be fed. He was like a baby, almost like a baby. He was to be fed. Maharaj has to be fed. And then sometimes, like a baby, he will tell, I will not eat. Then you have to pursue him, make him eat. And sometimes he will close his lips and Maharaj, our ekta, only one spoon, one more spoon, like that you have to feed him. I think he has fed 1 or 2 spoons. Then he has closed his lips, tightly closed his teeth also. It's so tight he could not insert the spoon, and he is trying and pursuing him, Maharaj, 1 more spoon, Maharaj, 1 more spoon. No response, nothing. Then even after 5-6 minutes of pursuing, there is no response from Premeshanji Maharaj. Then he found something wrong. He immediately went, just 30 minutes back or 15 minutes back, doctor had come and gone. He immediately went to the doctor and called the doctor, and the doctor came and saw and said, he has passed away. It's no more. He was giving it because he requested the boon. Maharaj, you should not go to the hospital. You should simply pass away. You have to grant me the boon. And Maharaj, he was feeling in front of his eyes is no more. Then, all that regular ritual, what they do for a sadhu in a kashi, all those things were done and completed. Then, there was one Swami in home of service, Swami, I think, Sarvarupanji. I may be a little wrong in the name. Most probably Sarvarupanji. He was a great Shastragna. He addressed Shastra very well. So, while he had this question, our Suitanji Maharaj had this question. Generally what we see, we have idea. It's not a question of seeing. Generally we have some idea. If a Swami like Premeshanji and disciples of Holy Mother, they will not pass away without some indication, or they may say chant the name of Sri Ramakrishna, or they may offer argya like Vireshwaran. He offered argya to Thakurma Swamiji in his present quarters, called everybody and left the body. So like that, something tangible we can understand. They will offer argya, or he will say Sri Ramakrishna has come, put asana like Kalyanji or Nishchayanji. They said, I see, not Kalyanji, it's Nishchayanji. you place a asana, Swamiji has come, let him sit on the asana, allow him to sit, you fools, don't you see him? Like that he used to tell, and many the direct disciples and many other Sri Ramakrishna disciples had some darshanas like that, visions, and then they passed away, like Balram Babu, some chariot coming, etc., etc. So Maharaj had this idea that nothing happened, simply he passed away. It stopped like a clock, it was moving, some spring went away and it just stopped as a clock. Then he had, how come nothing happened? Then many say that he was a Brahmagnani. Really is he? Then he discussed with Swami Sarvapranji. Maharaj, I had this doubt, what to tell, what's your... Hearing this, then you tell, Arey Bapre, he has left means it is according to Shastra. I think it is explained, if I remember, it is in Mandukya Karika, na vidyate gatihi, na gatihi vidyate. The Sanskrit is very flexible. Na gatihi vidyate. Gatihi means moment, gati. In Kannada also use gati, gati. Gatihi na vidyate. You don't see a movement in a Brahmagnani when he leaves the body. Simply. So Premeshanji is a Brahmagnani, remember? Na gatihi vidyate. He left body means he has not shown any gati. That is the indication of a Brahmagnani. Maharaj, our Sarvapranji, he explained this to our Sujanji. And in one place, while Premeshanji Maharaj was in Kankal, our Narayan Maharaj, Sarvagathanji, later he was in Boston and he passed away. He was in Kankal for, you will be a Paramahamsa, that famous book is there. So he used to take classes for these brahmacharis who were there at Kankal Ashrama. Kalyanji Maharaj requested Premeshanji to take classes on Shastra. Then he was teaching Ishavasya Upanishad. The mantra that he was explaining was, Yastu Sarvani Bhutani, it's there, Yastu Sarvani Bhutani, Atmani Evanu Pashyati, Sarva Bhuteshu Cha Atmanam, Tato na Vijigupsate. This is Ishavasya, Isha. While explaining this, actually, one who sees all beings in his own self and his self in all the beings, by virtue of this perception, he will not hate anybody. There will be no jealousy, no hatred towards others, because he sees sameness everywhere. He sees his Atman everywhere, there in his. So, while explaining this, especially Tatona Vijigupsate, while explaining this word, Tatona Vijigupsate, he asked, what do you mean, understand by the word Jugupsa? Generally, Jugupsa is translated as jealousy. Then, Premeshanji gave a different meaning. He did not explain this as jealousy. He said, Gopanericha. Jugupsa means Gopanericha, means a one who sees sameness will have no secrecy in him. Gopanericha thakena. Because he sees same Atman everywhere, he will have no secrecy to maintain. Gopanericha. It is Premeshanji. You don't get this explanation anywhere. If you can study, you go and see the Bhashya of this. For Yastu Sarvani Bhutani Cha Atman Tishtati. Tatona Vijigupsate. You take and see the explanation. They translate it as hatred, jealousy, etc. But Maharaj Premeshanji says, one who has this idea of sameness will have no secrecy left. You have neither secrecy with himself nor secrecy with the society. Sab khula. If he, fortunately I say, if we can see that attaining is far, it's a far away. It also depends on our swapragatna, self-effort. But at least in one's lifetime, you should be able to see somebody like that. It's of course, I have to add, my personal opinion. because it's on YouTube. Somebody will start commenting. And the question is now, after narrating this, I was just contemplating, how come such bhavadhara in their chitta, means receptivity to get subtle ideas in their buddhi, how come they have and we don't have? Apart from all the explanations, general explanation is, you need the grace of the Guru, you need the grace of the Ishta. Of course, at present we will keep this aside and take one word, one thing, which we had discussed for 24 long weeks on Karma Yoga. We have completed Karma Yoga with 24 lectures. Is it not? If somebody can perform this karma with an at least a base, Solpam apyasa dharmasya trayato mahato bhayat. I told you, Bhajnanji Maharaj used to say in our class, dharma means, he interpreted as Solpam apyasa dharmasya trayato mahato bhayat. Dharma means, he said it's spiritual experience. A little bit of spiritual experience will take you far ahead. Trayate mahato bhayat. You will be out of many fears. You need to have a little bit of spiritual experience. That was his explanation. You should first understand a bit of Shastra. Then if you hear lectures from senior Swamis, you will be able to understand their contribution, their original contribution. If you not understand a little bit of reading Shastra, you will miss out their original contribution. Anyhow, that is mainly for people like us. Here, coming to this Chitta Shuddhi, if you can practice a bit of sincerity, even with this karma itself, it will give an idea, it will fill in Chitta Shuddhi. If you have Chitta Shuddhi, then the ingredient of that pure mind is Shraddha. Who will have Shraddha? The man who has purity in his chitta or the mind will have faith. If you lack faith, understand, we don't have purity of the mind. Why Karma Yoga is necessary? For Chitta Shuddhi. After Shuddhi, what happens? You will get faith. Shraddha, like Nachiketa. Shraddha Vivesha. Kathopanishad. So, it will just enter inside with the Chitta Shuddhi. That's why, when you have that sincerity in any of the practices, it will give an intuitive understanding of many things. Coming to one example, of course, I have given this example, but I want to remind you once more, narrating the same incident. You have heard, many of you might have heard, it is not, of course, this Swami is not from our Ramakrishna mission. He was in UP and other places. I have narrated this incident in Seva Trust. I don't remember much here. His name is Akhandananda Saraswati. I often read his books also. Akhandananda Saraswati, his pre-monastic name was Shantanu. He was a great devotee of Bhagavatam. He used to give discourses in many places, traveling in North India, giving this discourse on Bhagavata. When I heard this for the first time, of course I have read, there's a small book by Akhandananda Saraswati himself, giving this incident of his life. He was so much devoted to Bhagavatam, he used to travel North India and give discourses on Bhagavata, 7 days, 10 days, Saptaha, etc. Then afterwards, he became a staunch follower of Advaita Vedanta. He became Advaita Vedanta, non-duality. And he renounced the world. He was a Grihastha earlier. He renounced everything and became a monk. Somebody asked, Maharaj, how come you became a monk? You were in Grihastha. You were a Grihastha earlier. What made you to become a monk? Then he narrated this incident. Of course, he has also written his reminiscences in that book. He generally used to come to Kankal. Haridwar, early ones, to give a discourse on Bhagavata. When he comes there, generally it will be in the evening, they give this Bhagavata discourses for 2 or 3 hours, something like that. I also once attended in Omkareshwar, when it's a brahmachari. Of course, I had less time. We need to go on leave, is it not? Apply leave and take and go. So I had only one day I could hear. Many people were sitting on the bank of Narmada. Still I remember, sitting on the bank of Narmada. So many, more than 10,000 people simply hearing. A Pandit had one. It was in Hindi. So he used to go to Haridwar, and every year, or evening, either in the evening or the morning, there will be discourse, and other part of the day he will be comparatively free. What he used to do, he used to inquire these akhadas, monasteries, where the monks live, and inquire, can you name any great Swami who is staying nearby? Can you name anybody? I want to meet him. Then somebody said, you go and meet Bhikshu Shankarananda. He has written his reminiscences on Bhikshu. It's available in Hindi. You can get it. Bhikshu Shankarananda, he has written reminiscences on him. Even our Swami Dhireshanji, disciple of Mahapurush Maharaj, has written reminiscences on Bhikshu Shankarananda, who used to stay in Kankal, Haridwar. Dhireshanji's diaries were recorded and now translated into Vedantic monks by Swami Chaitananji. Before leaving, he gave all his diaries to Swami Chaitananji. So, this Bhikshu Shankarananda stayed in Haridwar. Then he went in search of that Swami. Where is Bhikshu Shankarananda? He was staying in a very dilapidated house in a car with a small cart, nothing. Swami. Oh, a very untidy place for a common man to stay. Not very clean. He was like a Avdhuta. Then this Akhandan Saraswati, he was that time Shantanu, went and said, Maharaj, I want to come daily and to be with you for some time. ठीक है, आओ जब. Then he told, Maharaj, any oil coming? I have come here to give discourses on Bhagavatam. Can I come and read Bhagavatam here also? ठीक है, आ जाओ. He was a great non-Advaita, he was a non-dualist, Advaitin, that's Bhikshu Shankarananda, he was a great Advaitin, and he is propounding Bhagavata, taking devotion as the basis. All avatara, Vishnu, explanation of Vishnu, etc., that comes in Bhagavata, Gopis, the Dashamaskandas, narrative, everything. Because he is coming Shantanu and telling, yes, ठीक है, आ जाओ. Then every day he is going and reading his book on the Bhagavatam, and Bhikshu Shankarananda may be lying down, sitting, he will be in different mood, he will simply hear. This Shankarananda will read as long he feels ready and then go back. And then the last day of his reading that book, he said, Maharaj, कल सुबह हम निकल रहे हैं हरिद्वार, हम पुनः हमारा ग्राम चल जाएंगे, tomorrow I am leaving Maharaj. अच्छा ठीक है, तुम कल निकल रहे हैं. अच्छा, घोर वेला, you come early morning tomorrow to meet me. Why, Maharaj? I want to give Guru Dakshina. Maharaj, you are a Swami, I am a Grihastha. How come I need Guru? No. Because you have come sincerely every day, narrated Bhagavata to me, it becomes, I am your Shishya and you become Guru. So I have to offer Guru Dakshina, you have to take. Because such a Swami, great Swami is telling, oh, ठीक है Maharaj, कल आ जाएंगे. Then he came early in the morning. Then he went to that small dilapidated house. Then Bhikshu Shankarananda, he came near his room, he is near Shantanu, and uttered the Mahavakya, Tattvamasi, in his ear. He uttered Tattvamasi in the ear of Shantanu. That's all, Guru Dakshina. Afterwards what happened? From that day, Mera dil se जीव भाव चला गया. We cannot even imagine this situation. If we are very receptible on the day of Diksha, you should experience something. If we are really prepared and take Mantra Diksha, I cannot tell with much force, then it becomes difficult for me also. So if you are prepared to some extent on the day of your Diksha, The moment we hear the mantra, something should happen. So, if you don't worry, I am taking these examples. Don't, and of course, this word itself is so difficult for him. So, he says, Bapre, when I read it, and of course, Sarvapriyanji also has quoted, this is in Avadhuta, his lecture on Avadhuta Gita, and Ashtavakra Samhita, while explaining, he has quoted this example. So, उस दिन से मेरा जीव भाव निकल गया, चला गया. From that day, he never felt that he is Jivatman. He has always felt that I am Brahmasmi. Like it comes in Shastra, a Uttama Adhikari, if he hears that Mahavakya of Tattvamasi, there very moment he has to feel that Aham Brahmasmi. That is Uttama Adhikari, like Sri Ramakrishna. It is given in Shastra. If you are Uttama Adhikari, you will experience this. I thought it is just maybe somebody has written. We cannot question Shastra because we are not to that extent. Neither we have done sadhana so seriously like them, nor have done karma yoga so seriously. Somewhere hanging on like Trishanku. So we cannot question any of the. We don't have any right to question any of the Shastra. But still, I was not convinced. How can if somebody says Tattvamasi, immediately can feel Aham Brahmasmi? I had a doubt. The moment I read this reminiscence of Vakhanda and the Saraswati about this Bhikshu Shankara and Bapre, a few years back only this has happened. Then he renounced everything and became a famous exponent. He is famous 4 volumes on Mandukya Karika. He has written a book. His all lecture converted into book form. Of course, it is in Hindi. His famous book is on Mandukya Karika, 2 volumes of Kathopanishad, 4 volumes of Bhagavatam. 2 volumes of Bhagavata, 2 volumes of Kathopanishad, 4 volumes of Mandukya Karika. I have not read, I am reading. Don't think that just because I have quoted all, somebody will simply send a, oh, you have read so much. Arre Bapre, don't depend on my reading. I am telling you, if somebody is interested, you just go to the reference book and start reading. That's my intention, that's all. Don't think about me. So, how he attained, then my next question was, first is Adhikaratva, yes. Then I was thinking, how did the Shantanu got his adhikara? How did he attain this position? Then to my mind it flashed. Because he was expounding Bhagavata, Janma karma cha me divyam yo veti tattvataha. Krishna says in Bhagavatita, somebody who can understand my Janma and karma as divya, my birth and Leela as divya, he will attain me. It's Krishna's word in Bhagavad Gita. Maybe with that attitude, he may be expounding Bhagavatam. Through that, he has come to a place of Chitta Shuddhi, and the Mahavakya entered into his mind, and there arose the experience of Aham Brahmasmi. So, anything we do with the Shuddha Manas, Shuddha mind, definitely it has to lead to purity of the mind, through which we become Adhikari to further spiritual experiences or evolution in a spiritual life. So, it is very, very important. Now, coming to some of the aspects with these Swamis, this is highest example. Bhikshu Shankaranda Akanda is highest example. Coming to our level of understanding, what I have seen what little I have seen with the Swamis of our senior Swamis, you cannot question their integrity. To what extent they understood, basically when we joined, we thought it is meaningless. Even I have thought, the way they tell you, why they make so much fuss of all these things? As we grow, generally it will tell in Kannada, as our hair turns grey, then we will attain buddhi. So, I will narrate one incident from the Belur Mutt, which I heard directly from a senior Swami in Belur Mutt. One incident from Tyagi Shanji Maharaj, because we are sitting here, I want to quote Tyagi Shanji. Shastranji has just joined Bangalore. Not formally, at least he had joined this Bangalore. Still formality had to be completed. And then he was supposed to go to Madras. There was some Dakshina Hindi Bharat Sabha, one organization. They were celebrating 20 Silver Jubilee celebration. He was one of the member or something like that. I think his name is Satyanarayan Maharaj earlier. So he was supposed to go to Madras. As he was here, already joined, and he is supposed to be in Ramakrishna Mission only. Then he went and asked Tyagi Shanji to give a letter of introduction to the head of Madras Mutt, where he can stay for 2 or 3 days and attend this congregation of Silver Jubilee celebration. Then Tyagi Shanji told, no, I will not give you a letter. Why, Maharaj? You are going to attend a sabha which is not ours. You are going on your personal agenda. And you are going as a delegate. When you are going as a delegate, stay in a delegate camp, not in Ramakrishna Mission. Many people, even when you are in office, they request, they will be going to Bhubaneswar. Swami, will you get guest house at Bhubaneswar? We are going for a many business trip. I myself have sent many emails, sitting in office. I don't say it's not, it's incorrect. The way they give value to integrity, that's my focus point. It's a very ordinary example, but the way they understand, because there are some things, I will narrate both the two and come to the point. And he said, no, I will not give. You stay in a delegate camp, attend the program, then you go to Madras Mutt. I will give a letter of introduction to the head of the center, wherein you go and discuss spiritual matters by which you be benefited. For that I will give you a letter, but not to stay as in a guest house and accept and for attend a delegate as a delegate. No. He said, I will give you a letter of introduction for an interview with I think Sarvanji was there in Madras, disciple of Brahmanji Maharaj. So Tyagi Shanji is also disciple of Brahmanji. So, you go there and discuss on spiritual matters. Being a delegate for that sabha, even Gandhiji came to give a presidential address to that sabha in Madras for that occasion. Mahatma Gandhi. I will not give. This is the first. Second, for many people, it may seem very simple. It may, and nowadays many youngsters will not accept this at all, which I am going to tell you. Now, when revered Veerashwanji Maharaj was the president of Belur Mutt, Swami Abhyanji was the manager. He was offered a seat of president also. He declined, saying, Premanji told me that, Premanji Maharaj, he told me that you be manager of the mutt. Till I leave, I will become the manager. There is a lot of stories behind that. Some other time I will narrate. Now we will focusing on this integrity. So then he remained all through as a manager only. Then Maharaj was selected. So generally when revered Veerashwanji Maharaj used to go out, Abhyanji Maharaj also accompanied in many of the occasions. You always see him both together, many times. So he is not there, he is the manager of Belur Mutt. The condition here is earlier, no I cannot say this, earlier, if you want your shirt, you want toothpaste, you want soap, everything you have to go and request the manager Swami, get it from him. Now we have a very big devotees base. You ask some devotee, he will get you. Is it not? Somebody will give you some, somebody will offer you a shoe, somebody will offer you a chapel, somebody will stitch you cloth. That is the condition today. Those days not allowed. So, anything you want from best to shirt, go and ask. And you have to show, Maharaj, this has torn, I need a new shirt. Then manager will see, okay, I will get you to stitch it. Even senior Swamis who were staying in Arogya Bhavan, they used to come and request the manager. He may be junior most, but they accept. They are all very integral. They give so much value to integrity. So, Maharaj is not there. He has gone a week day visit to some place. I think initiation was there. Maharaj Abhiyanji is not there. Gambhiranji Maharaj was the general secretary. You know, the earlier mission office was in front of the Belur Mutt main temple. He was sitting on the first floor or the ground floor. He saw one car going out of the campus. Then he called some assistants and who went out? One junior Swami, some devotee had come to ashrama and requested Swamiji, please come with us, we are going somewhere, you accompany us. Then because they have requested, he was free, he had no service during that hour. He thought 1 hour. He went outside. Gambhiranji, unfortunately, Gambhiranji Maharaj saw it. Many things many may not see. But Maharaj was maybe near the gate or something. He saw this was passing. Most probably Gambhiranji Maharaj. Then he went and then he inquired who went, etc., etc. Then he got the information. Such a Swami went with such a devotee. Then immediately he called one brahmachari in the mission of self. Go and tell the Dharvan, the gatekeeper, not to allow the Swami till Swami Abhayananda enters the gate. That Swami has come near the gate. Dharvan told, gatekeeper. General Secretary told not to enter the gate. What a pity. Then, hey, I am a Swami, you may be anything, but my instruction is not to allow you inside the gate. He could not enter. Then he went to Sharda Pit with only his one cloth, nothing else. Yeah, everything is in his room. So he went and stayed for 5 days or 1 week, how many days Abhayanji Maharaj. He stayed there. When he got the information that Swami Abhayanji Maharaj has come, he went and solemnly prostrated, Maharaj, Amar bhul hoye gache. When manager is not there, you are not supposed to go out of the gate. Anything you do, inform manager and do. That's the integrity question. Gambhiranji, when Abhayanji is not there, then you should not do which is not to be done. What your service? Do puja. Do puja. Apart from what your service? Sit in your room, sit in the temple, do japa. That's why many times many people think that going out and doing satsanga is the greatest thing that a Swami can do. No. No. I had this idea before joining. My idea has changed after 27 years. Yeah, of course I had. It's my personal view. So, then he went and requested Abhayanji. Abhayanji heard everything and told, you go and seek apology with Gambhiranji Maharaj. Then he went and seek apology. Then both accepted and he was allowed inside the Belur Math. He did not inform manager before leaving Belur Math. Now we cannot question all these things. These are all, there are many such incidents which constraints. Now, but it's time up, I will just conclude. Now the question is, even we may ask, why should we be so, I have not done many, nowadays even young brahmacharis, young swamis, they ask this question. I have not done anything wrong. I went out, let us say he went for a temple. I went out a temple and came back. When you accept the rules is there, it has been written. You being here, there are certain rules that has to be followed by a brahmachari, by a secretary, by a adhyaksha. We have certain set. Our senior swamis, they will not deviate an not even inch, an from that idea. Gambhiranji resigned when they wanted to start a Sharda Math. Then all Veerashwara, once Sharda Math was done, they all went and requested, no, you come back. He resigned from trusteeship, he resigned from general secretary. I don't want to become. We are never. They have such a integrity. Then what happens? What is the advantage of so? When you give instructions to the mind to that extent, the moment you sit for japa, the mind will just simply sit on nama. Because mind is tuned to be focused on some instruction that you have heard. Suppose you have taken this, yes. When mind follows to 100% to that instruction in an organization, the same mind will take 100% responsibility focused on the mantra. Nobody will understand the depth of all this. We are not doing anything. We are integral. Why should you question? No individuality with certain things. With mind, only you will understand being with the mind. Integrity, if somebody can maintain, all this, so many people find it, so many rules in Ramakrishna Mission. This is an organization, otherwise we will go to, where we will go, who will know? Our seniors have thought so much about all these things. So, I have many, because I thought while coming in the vehicle, I remembered so many incidents and just jotted down in my diary, which one I could explain and give narrative. I could complete only 3 or 4. I had written some 8. So, of course, depending on some other time, we can just extend it. But there are many things that you don't, first you have to see and keep it in the mind. Don't be judgmental. But time will come when we also fall or come to face such a situation, then those ideas will come to our brain, to the mind, and correct, they did it like that. Yes, yes, sir. Because many times we have heard from Harshanji Maharaj also, and some things with Purushottamji also in Pannapet and later in Belur Matta. So, all those things, now we are, correct, why, we revolted, we argued, we did so many things, and I have done, frankly speaking, I have done. Now I am, correct, yes, they have told all these things for these sakes. We have to understand in a different light. With this, I conclude. Again, regarding, if it's there, next Sunday we have to go for Lila Prasanga, but of course, you just wait for your message also. It may be a little different. If something, a new thing comes, then it may be different also, but most probably, maybe it will be Lila Prasanga. With this, we will conclude. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Rama Krishna Arpanamastu.